All right, we are live. Hey,
Hey, what's up,
everybody.
Bobby?
How's it going? I guess I need to get rid of this live streaming soon, as seeing we are live streaming. So, a second there. All right, that should work now. Cool, auto switch, ready to go, and it fades away. Muscle cars and Houston, Texas, more specifically, being, I guess, willing.
I'm sure you've and that and maybe ways that I've overcome those.
Well, you already asked all the questions. I guess we can go ahead and wrap this up. Uh, well, let's let the audience get to know you a little bit better. Blake, give us a rundown of where you're from. We met at Oklahoma State. I guess a little bit about you from college, and then how
Yeah.
you took ownership of Mo Muscle Cars there in Conroe.
Okay, so I am in the Woodlands, Texas, and I'm originally from Lafayette, Louisiana. We moved here back in 2001, which I went to high school here, and then after that, I went up to Oklahoma State. Go Pokes, of course.
Oh yeah,
All the fans out there. That's where, of course, I met Bobby here as well. And after that, I came home. I was faced with some challenges. I just got out of school, of course. I got a degree in entrepreneurship and business development, and I minored in marketing at the Spear School of Business. Not long after I got back, about 2 months after, I started a roof cleaning business. I noticed that there was a lot of black algae on the roofs down here. So the entrepreneurship spirit that I had, I went out and just started something. And I was pretty successful in it once it got going. But I actually got my first job, and my dad had told me how happy he was. And that was actually the last thing I'd heard from him through a text.
mm,
So he he texted me, told me that, and that next morning I woke up to bad news that there was something that had happened. So, long story short, my dad passed away. It's actually going to be 11 years on this Friday. Um, and after that happened, I was kind of at a loss of what to do. Uh, I was new into this world in the business sense. I was fresh out of college. I had a lot of questions, but I had no answers. So I basically, a year later, I ended up taking over this shop. Now, a little history of that. My dad had started Mo Muscle Cars after selling his business to a company out of Germany. They did sandblasting and painting and high pressure water, boil platforms, tankers, ships, and things of that nature. So after Dad had sold, they started Mo Muscle. Him and a couple other guys, and one of them here, Mike, is still here today, which I'm super stoked about. We just celebrated 15 years this month.
that's awesome.
Um,
15 years
yeah,
working
it's
with your
exciting.
family.
Yeah, 15 years. It's been 10 years since I took it over. So time has flown by, and in that time, there's been a lot of challenges and also great things that have happened. Fast forward though to 2010 in August, I took over the company, and it was something that I planned on doing. It was kind of sink or swim. We had this place. We realized the manager was trying to move our business without our permission, i.e., take our business.
Mm.
So I made the decision after some people had found out as well what was going on that we were going to come in and fire them. So I did that, and I had a lot of things to learn at that time. I brought in a consultant, Karen, who was real nice, and she helped gather information before we did the takeover. We wanted to make sure that we had all of the paperwork in order, the bank accounts were in order, everything that needed to run this business and have a good fresh start. We made sure we had. At that point, I came in and I let the old manager go, and he was actually a partner at the time too.
Now, how old were you when this happened?
When this happened, I was 24 when this happened.
Okay.
When I took over the shop, I think I was 24. 24, yeah, 24, something like that. So it was not too long after school. I mean, it was the year after. And I came in, and basically we figured we would either sink or swim. Got him out of here and learned everything from there. It was a challenge, though, I tell you. There's a lot of things to run into, but without having the people we have that have been here the whole time and all of our working together, I don't know where we'd be today, but maybe I'll let you talk now.
Oh no, you're good. So I'm setting up. I'm trying to get your website pulled up here. Tell me what's your favorite thing that you've done as far as working with clients. What's one of the things that stands out of a memorable client impression?
Okay, so let me get to that, but if you don't mind, I want to tell everybody what we do, because I don't think we really got into that too much. But my company, Meaux Muscle Cars, restores high-end cars for clients. We build muscle cars, we build classic cars, hot rods. We put a lot of modern flavor in it. We can do anything here at the shop. You dream it, we build it. These are very, very nice cars. Yeah, I mean, they're very, very nice cars that we build. I don't know what else I can say. They're some of the best in the world, with the other people out there too, which is great to have so many other people in this industry. But memorable client experiences, I would say the experiences that last a long time. We've had one client in particular, Rob, who, interestingly enough, I actually saw today. Okay. But Rob isn't just fresh on my mind because of that. He's fresh on my mind because of the things that we've done. We built a red Mustang for Rob that ended up, at the time, it was all modern components. It was something that hadn't really been done as much. We had a GT 500 engine in it from a modern Mustang. This engine had a new blower put on it. It was 820 horsepower. That we put in a 64.5 Mustang convertible. This car ended up going to SEMA. It ended up being in Hot Rod Alley. It got some attention. I was on Power Nation with it, which was on Spike TV.
Oh, that's awesome.
We did an episode. I also was on the cover of a magazine with it, featuring muscle cars, Hot Rod and Restoration magazine. Eddie over there hooked me up. I'd reached out to him, and he had a whim on a kid, I guess, and we ended up on the cover of the magazine. So that was interesting. And with that car, Rob has been so special because not only did he allow us to build that car, we had also built another car for him before that vehicle. It was actually a 57 Chevy, which you could see the video on the website. That car is super nice. He still got it today. We're also in the process of doing a Lincoln for him as well. So we've built a long-term experience with him. I've got another gentleman. Excuse my voice. It's kind of a little raspy today.
You've been working hard. That's part of it.
I know. I have. You know, I got a baby. My wife and I have a baby due this week, so not sleeping much. So. But Rob's always been a great customer and a friend, and a lot of customers have turned into that, like David with this 55 Chevy, and he's no longer with us either, or with us. I'm sorry, Rob is, of course. Sorry, Rob. But David, we've had great experiences with him as well. So
All right. Whenever, oh wow, look at me. You got me choking up over here on my
I
voice.
know I'm trying to drink.
All right. So we talked for the week in, I don't know, dude, 8 years probably.
Yeah, probably so. I would
The
say, yeah, about 8 years.
it really struck me how humble you are with the success of the business, but also how important it is to you. One of the questions I asked, I'm sure you remember this, but given the opportunity to help somebody who is new in a business, um, what are some things that you would pass on to somebody else, like those hard decisions you had to make with that manager? How did you tackle those tough decisions? Because you did have families that relied on not you particularly, but the business. You know, they relied on working at Moe Muscle Cars to provide for their family, and each decision you made affected, their children. So these new entrepreneurs that are out there, there's a lot of information. And what's some information you'd like to share with them?
I would have to say, first off the bat, the most important thing is to listen to your heart um, in the direction
Yes,
that
sir.
you want to take things. There's a lot of people who have dreams and aspirations. Sometimes they share them with the wrong people. Um, but in the end, you just have to prove yourself, and it does take uh, some proving to other people. Uh, I know that when I had to jump into this, there was a lot of unknowns, and I just knew that I would end up somewhere. And that as I kept going forward, I would keep learning.
Mm-hmm.
I would keep needing to apply that to what I was doing. And also, don't be afraid to ask for help. Although it is okay to, as I said, follow what you feel in your heart. The truth is that there's a lot of people that have good advice too. And always take advice from people. You have to be able to look and see whether or not it's good advice or bad advice. And that's where you go off what your heart says. But when you work hard and you seek answers, you're going to get answers. And they may not always be the answer you want initially, but you can at least
Yeah, yeah.
eliminate that answer off your list, and move on to the next one. So,
All right. So be sure to reach out to people who you think genuinely care about your dream. Can we hit on that for a second?
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
You said that. I think there's probably a backstory of why you said that. What do you mean between the difference of people who care about your dream and who don't? What do you mean by that?
Well, I think there's a lot of there's always going to be people have uh, their personal wants and desires. So typically, if you ask somebody a question and it pertains to where it could in any way affect them, that's going to be on the mind.
Right.
But it doesn't really, in this aspect, go down into that so much. Uh, at the time, I was so young, it's not so much that people just didn't believe in me per se. It was that it's this kid coming in, he's fresh out of college, he's going to come in and make hard decisions and take over a business that has never relied on him before that he didn't know. So there was a lot of people that uh, I, I think really needed to see some of that success before they really got on board with what I've been saying and what my goals were for it. Because I did hear a lot of, you're not going to be able to run this business without the other manager because he knows everything. And without him, there's no business. And what are you going to do? And how are you going to make this decision? And you don't know anything about these cars, and you're not a mechanic, and you don't have any money.
Right.
And you made bad decisions in the past sometimes. Why should you always make good ones now? But I had to ignore all that because we had a goal.
Hmm.
And the goal was we're going to come in and we're going to swim. We're not going to sink. And you do that by just not giving up. I remember even today, it's hard sometimes. It really is. I stress out a lot sometimes, and sometimes I don't have the answers, and I seek of maybe somebody I could ask advice to. Um,
Well,
but in
I'm
the end,
available. You
I
can ask
just
me
make,
anything, Blake.
yeah. Well,
I'm kidding.
I end
I'm
up
kidding.
making a decision. Yeah, I'm not going to ask you anything, but I have asked you questions that you've helped me with.
Fair
Uh,
enough. Right.
so um,
Well, did you have a mentor?
yeah, yeah, I do, but he's not here. And I'm not trying to make this sad, but I mean, truth be told, like, I didn't really have anybody that I could ask, but like, I didn't have anybody I could go and ask tons of questions to that was like a reliable person that could give me the info. Because the truth is that when it comes down to it, people can give you advice, but they don't know your exact situation.
Yeah, that's
So,
true.
for instance, I could come ask you a question and you could give me your advice, and it may be humble advice. It may be something that is absolutely, it's always worth listening